Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and whatever else is watching. My name is Nick and this is another play and show where I actually show some game footage of games that have got me occupied in the recent times. One of these games is for the Wii U and that's Paper Mario Color Splash. I have to admit that I haven't played that many hours into this game just yet, especially if you recognize this this area that I'm currently starting. But that's also because I'm a little bit unsure about whether I like this game or I don't like this game. To be honest, there are a number of things that I really like, and there are also things that kind of drag this game down. But at first, let me start with this. Paper Mario is a game that has a 2D Mario in a 3D world, as you can see. And that's how far my knowledge about Paper Mario goes. It supposedly is also something like an RPG or so of that kind, but to be honest, this is the very first Paper Mario game that I am actually playing. I've never played any of the previous Paper Marios before, so I don't know how well this game stacks up to any of the others. So I can only judge it by this game alone. And well, that means I'm kinda unbiased towards whether this is the best or the worst in the franchise, as this game has quite a lot of, how do I put this? Rather a lot of negative response at its first showing. Yeah, that being said, I love the art style. It is gorgeous. Look at this. Look at the floor, look at those walls. It looks as if they are made out of a cardboard or something. Everything looks as if it is made out of paper, folded or otherwise. And that's so beautiful. I like the artistic vision of this. Even the flowers over there, they are folded papers. And that's just so gorgeous. And the fire that you have in that candle. Even the coins are cardboard or paper. And that's something you also see back in the story. The story really makes use of the fact that it is made out of paper. At the beginning of this game, Mario arrives at this island. I already forgot what it's called. Completely wrapped up, and you have to unwrap yourself. It's not neatly folded, more like squished together in a hurry. But it is so interesting. And they also make use of this throughout the rest of the game. There you have Toads who are injured because they are folded a little bit or something. Had a leg folded, and it's so interesting, so great in the visual style and everything. Even also the music, it is beautiful. Yes, in this instant I was actually looking if Another aspect of this gameplay and also paper is that you can cut out the background. If there is something to be cut, you can cut it out and then start a little platforming section. Here again! You hit the toad and he falls. And yeah, it's just so incredibly beautiful. And also, the music in this game is quite awesome. It is really well done. It's really well orchestrated and everything. If it is orchestrated, I don't even know for sure. But I really like it. And even the paint aspect, it's really nice. It adds a little bit depth to everything, but it also adds a little bit of, yeah, frustration, but more about that later. Another thing is the story. I don't know exactly what to think of it, but aspects of it are really cool. Dialogue, they have some really witty dialogue in here, and that's so awesome. And I think that is something I would like to, yeah, where I would like to continue with this game for. However, where the is, how do I put this? You have good guys and you have bad guys. With bad guys, you have so much variety. Even in, well, how do I put this? Even in form and just palette swaps, you have a lot of variety in there. On the NPC side, you only have toads. Or I have only seen toads and, well, the paint bucket and Mario. And even though they give some personality to some of these toads, but many are also just so generic. And I would have loved to see some more, yeah, deviations. Not just palette swaps or different coloring. No, I wanted to see a big toad, a small toad, a thin toad, a... Well, they have a toad with glasses. It's probably the only toad that's actually different, or at least the one I've come across. Actually, they have two toads with glasses. They have one rescue squad member, or the rescue squad commander, the best toad awesome, and you have this card geek. So yeah, but a little bit about that. However, that's the thing that I'm missing the most. It's just there is not much variety in the looks of the toads, and I can expect it. Yeah, because if it is palette swaps, then it wouldn't take much space and you could reuse assets a lot. But I would have loved to see a little bit more variations in not just the coloring, but also dressing and sizes and all of that. And maybe not only toads, but Mario has a rich history of many races, and they could make a return, or at least in the parts that I maybe they will in later parts. Maybe I haven't played far enough yet. But then I come to a little bit of the frustration now, because I think it's time to talk about that, because we are also entering the area. As I said, I really like the painting part. And each area has aspects that have lost their color. So you will have to hit the hammer with paint. And then you will fill in its color. Do this enough. Do this for all the parts. Have 100% recoloring and you actually unlock the music of that part. And that's really cool. However, I have on occasion had 98%. And I was completely thinking, wait, where is this last part? Where is the last 2%? Where is this one thing? And I have walked through levels several times, searched various corners. I didn't see an exit or part that I just couldn't reach because I didn't have the right story progress yet, and this makes it also very frustrating because you have quite a lot of loading times, and especially a lot of loading times after and before each battle. And you have a lot of these battles, and the battles are the second thing that is making me think, no, this could have been done better. There are a lot of parts that I like about the battle. There's a lot of, quite some strategic elements, as you have to pick the cards that you want to use. You cannot just use every attack on every enemy. And also, as you just saw, right before a battle starts, you can actually start to weaken your enemy. However, this is the biggest drawback also, that you have to play with cards and you have to play with paint. First you have to select cards, then you have to paint the cards. Better yet, I should say you have to select the cards, then you have to say you're ready for on your card selection, then you have to paint the cards, then you have to say you're ready on the painting the card selection, and then you even have to flick them upwards towards the screen. That are at least 3 card clicks too many. Or at least 3 actions. If I pick the cards, I want to immediately paint them. I don't want to say, if I not want to paint them, then the back button during the paint screen can also function as my, well, changing the card. And if I don't want to, if I'm saying my cards are ready, then I don't want to repaint them again. Most of the time you just completely fill them in anyway. Because paint is rather abundant in this game. If you defeat an enemy, you get your paint back. You sometimes even get your cards back. So that's one thing, is that it's not that difficult in there. Well, I do have to say I rather suck at the quick time events. You can during the battle, which is something I really like, is that if you hit the A button at the right moment, your attack becomes stronger, or you can do consecutive attacks. And when you hit the A button at the right time when the enemy attacks, you block. I unfortunately suck at this timing. I really don't have proper timing. And that really sucks. So, yeah. And actually, however, with all the strategic elements and everything, I still think the battling is really, yeah, tedious. It's, yeah, that's what I say and think the most of it, because you also have to load. Quite often there is also a loading screen. That there wasn't a loading screen just there is, yeah, was remarkable. I think I remember having a lot of loading screens around battles, and I get into, well, this level isn't that heavy in battles, I have to say, but there are levels or areas that have battles every other 5 steps. You come across a new enemy that sneaks upon you and hits you pretty much instantly. That was way too early, but still correct. And some of these battles, here again, this dude you can't avoid, so that's why I try to just hit him before he hits me. At least he will be a little bit, yeah, weakened in that state. But the battles are the thing that really take me out of it, and that's why I can't really say that it's that good of a game. It are the battles that actually make me lose interest in this game, because of how tedious they are. And I just want to explore. I want to look, find hidden objects. If I could hit a hammer on an enemy just and not go in this battle state, if I could just hit him in the overworld, as it were, or in the level, then I would have been fine. But now these battles keep keep interrupting me in exploring this world. And it's so beautiful, this world. It's so awesome. And that is what makes me also so sad. So, to conclude this episode, or this video, I like the visuals. They are stunning. Really. The sound, the music, gorgeous. I really love it. The gameplay story has some good dialogue, but the many uses of the same toads is pretty much starting to become a deal breaker. It just becomes way too repetitive. You can't even recognize what toad is what. And that also makes me think, or makes me a little bit sad, because the battles are also tedious. There is a great strategic element to it, but most often I think the battles are tedious and slowing down the gameplay. And that's too bad. I really had wished that those battles could have been in a more rapid succession, or more, yeah, that more fun. But considering, do I recommend this for Wii U owners? Definitely, especially considering it's pretty much the last game the Wii U will ever have. Well, we still have Zelda, but this is pretty much the last retail game that you will ever see on the Wii U. And it is definitely not that expensive. You might have enjoyment in the story mode, but this is definitely not a game that you want to buy a Wii U for, especially because the Wii U is now exiting. its end of life. But there are still better games. If you have still many more games to play on the Wii U and you have to make a selection, then I think games like Xenoblade, Bayonetta, Hyrule Warriors, Super Smash Bros, Super Mario Kart, Super Mario World, a lot of other Mario games are just a lot better than this one. So I hope you enjoyed this little gameplay session, or little play and show session, as I must say. And I hope you will have fun with, the game if you got it. Me? I have also some other games to play, which I probably will be showing you one in the next show and play. Until then, I'll say goodbye and see you later. Yeah, this was a nice instance of how the paper setting actually works in favor of the story. That's just awesome! Why does it have to be interrupted by all those battles? Well, goodbye!